What's going on, y'all? Attorney Tom here. It's time for It Depends, where I react to the greatest subreddit on the internet, r/AttorneyTom. Let's jump right into it.
Leave hypotheticals in the subreddit, guys, and I'll give an answer. Usually it's It Depends.
Relevant to our interests. Considering starting an OnlyFans and advertising is not safe for work, but when people subscribe, they're disappointed only to find out it's just a video of me committing OSHA violations. So I think this meme is actually a repost, so you're gonna get a knowledge hammer for that. But let's be real. OSHA violations are definitely not safe for work content. Look, I'm not saying I'm gonna start an OnlyFans, but Tom's dream job.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's safe. They can't get through there. That's your kid. That's what I'm worried about. She's severely concussed. How's that safe? That shouldn't fit a kid's head. Your kid's gonna fly straight off the back of this one.
I plead the fifth. Paused the video to use the bathroom and came back to this. Say something! I dare you. I'm sure Tom would enthusiastically support such an endeavor. Replace Stonehenge with something useful, like an Applebee's. You know, I don't think I've ever been to Applebee's in my life, as long as it's not an Arby's. Tom sells merch now. Officer, I drop-kicked that child in self-defense. Now, this is clearly not my merch, because I would never sell merch advocating that you should talk to the police. Thoughts? Breaking, Alec Baldwin has been charged with involuntary manslaughter in the fatal shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set of Rust, New Mexico, District Attorney says. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that there is enough evidence to charge Alec Baldwin with involuntary manslaughter. I thought charging Alec Baldwin was probably the right move. Now, for involuntary manslaughter, you don't need to prove intent. Clearly, Alex Baldwin did not intend to kill Helena Hutchins. However, he acted so recklessly. He intended to pull the trigger on the gun. He just didn't know in his mind that the gun was loaded or would go off. If you've ever been around a firearm, you know that the first rule is to always pretend like every single firearm is loaded. And he didn't do that. Now, obviously, he was on a film set, so there's going to be some special set of circumstances that maybe give him some leniency. But again, that's all stuff that's going to come out in the particular trial. So I definitely thought charging him with involuntary manslaughter was probably the right move. And I think that there's a pretty compelling case that he may be guilty. Class actions be like, law firm, $50 million. Lawyer, I got $500,000. Courthouse, I only got $50,000. Victims, you got paid? All jokes aside, and I've talked about this before on my channel, as a whole, the class of victims undoubtedly get the most amount of money. Now, that's broken up into potentially hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of victims, and each individual victim gets a fraction of that. But that is the purpose of a class action lawsuit, because you're not paying the lawyers hourly, and it's probably not worth a lawyer's time to pursue one individual case. So you take a group of people who have been victimized by a company or whoever else, and you're able to make it economically feasible for them to pursue legal action by lumping all of the cases together. And the beauty of class actions is, if you do not want to participate in the class, you have every ability to opt out and pursue your own case individually. You just have to either find a lawyer who's willing to take your case on a contingency fee, or pay a lawyer $500,000 to $1.5 million in legal fees to take a case all the way through litigation. U.S. Customs are domestic YouTube for this. Apparently, U.S. Customs cannot comprehend a sealed video game market. They broke the acrylic holder, ripped and threw out the seal, and sliced the front of the box off. This game was a $3,000 game. This is a really good legal hypothetical, because by opening up the game, they have clearly destroyed the value of the property. Now, is it within their rights to break the seal? Almost certainly yes. But do they have to pay for the damages? Okay, so here I've pulled up the U.S. Customs and Borders Protection's website. This is their article about tort claims. If your property is damaged or loss or personal injury or death resulting from the negligent or wrongful acts or omissions of an employee of the U.S. Customs and Border Protections, you must file an administrative tort claim against the agency in accordance with the Federal Tort Claims Act. So if you wanted to sue to recover the loss of your game, you'd have to file a case under the Federal Tort Claims Act, and you'd have to go through that whole lengthy process. So there you go. If they break your game, you have more than every right to sue. So how liable would the wizard be for criminal actions as an accomplice? How about fraud for selling spells? A man tried to rob a bank after paying $500 to a wizard to make him invisible. So I think the most applicable word here is the word reasonable. I don't think that any reasonable person would assume that if you gave somebody $500, they would make you invisible. So with respect to the wizard's liability, I highly doubt that the wizard would be held liable as an accomplice to this crime, because clearly any reasonable person would know that, the wizard couldn't actually make him invisible. I'm selling invisibility cloaks now. If you want to become invisible like me, oh shit. Now I'm not saying I could make you invisible for $500, but I could make you invisible for $5,000. 855-TOM wins. Now, with respect to the fraud aspect of it, yeah, it could definitely be a deceptive trade practice for a wizard to promise to make somebody invisible, and then that never happens. But, again, the reasonableness of it all, because becoming invisible is impossible. Attorney Tom, who is liable? How much can I sue Walmart if I slipped and impaled myself on that? Absolutely. I think this would be a really solid case. As a premises owner, you have a duty to not make the property unduly dangerous. Now, this is literally a spear. It's foreseeable that if it's snow and it's wet and it's slippery outside, somebody could slip. So if you slipped and then impaled yourself on that, it could be a pretty strong case. Tom, this is the ultimate defense. Your Honor, if my client was guilty, why would he swear on his mama? Let me tell y'all a little secret. Come closer. Come closer. There are some bad people in the world that will lie. They might swear on their mama, but they're lying. My OSHA handbook just exploded. Yes! Whoever's in charge of this elevator gets a knowledge hammer. What the hell, man? Nothing gonna go wrong using this bad boy. This looks like a chainsaw sword. It's pretty cool. Seems like a good present for Tom. Tom upgrades his blimp after LP arbitrations. Okay, we're not commenting on the LP arbitrations. I can only imagine the comment section of this post.
Dump truck, an absolute dumpster of a wagon.
Here's what I will say respectfully.
Just a dime piece.
My blimp is way better than this thing.
Derriere.
Oh no, wait, I know her. I should call her. Y'all are this is so bad. What happens if the cops are more wasted than you?
Hey, can I get a sergeant? We can't find anybody. I want a sergeant. I want a sergeant. Because I want a sergeant to see him. I want a sergeant to see him. You know for a fact this man is under the influence of something.
I have a party here requesting for a sergeant.
You know he's under the influence of something. Okay. Hey, if I held my finger up and told you to follow my finger, could you do it?
Was all gay got famous?
You're high as shit, dude.
So I understand you guys are upset and frustrated.
You brought a high cop to my house.
It's frustrating. You guys walked to my mom's house
Look at this.
without permission.
Hey, can I get your name and badge number? Can I get your name and badge number? Who?
What? I thought this was going to be some sort of meme. What happens if the cops are more wasted than you? Call the sergeant. Public intoxication. What? How did he get there? Did he drive? I hope that police department treats that police officer just like any other ordinary citizen.
You right to jail.
Okay, that's it for today's video. Make sure you check out all of my other videos if you're interested. All right, talk to you later. Bye.
Attorney Tom.